Okay, this is no funny faces. First of all, I can't go to college here for a year.
She'd have to pay out-of-state tuition because she hasn't lived here a year. She lived in Virginia beforehand, so when she lives here a year, she won't have to pay out-of-state tuition. Technically, she could still go to college.
I just don't want to pay for that.
She just had to pay a lot of money.
Because I already went to college when I was living in Arizona, and I am in mega debt from that, and I haven't been able to pay back any of it. I just don't want to add more to my plate currently, but I'm definitely interested in going back to college in the future. I don't have a car I can even practice driving in. I'm not allowed to use Destiny's car. It's like a rule that her dad put upon us. So, no license for Amberlynn.
If we ever need time alone, we never get time alone.
No, not
like,
really.
there's no way we could have time. I mean,
when we're working, we do different things.
Yeah, but
we're not together at work like every second.
No,
so.
but that's not time alone.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have time to have time alone. We literally work and we come home and we spend time with each other.
Because why wouldn't you want to?
It's kind of separate, but kind of together. Because lately I've been coming home and watching The Walking Dead, and she's been like watching YouTube. So I guess that's kind of time alone, even though we're sitting right next to each other and we're like this.
I can say that my feet hurt a lot. Destiny, this is a serious moment. I've never really had like ankle issues or knee issues. My girlfriend's like, let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk. I didn't want to. My leg wasn't broken. My ankle was, I'm sorry. My foot was just like dangling. Until recently. Well, yeah, until recently. We're getting freaking honest up in here. Both of you, have you thought about getting married to each other?
We've thought about it.
Yeah, we have.
I mean, I want to.
You want to?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because I love you.
I love you. She'd be the one to propose. I ain't a proposer.
I hope you don't break my little heart. She wants to adopt a child. I want to birth a child. I like to say birth. I don't know why. I think everyone says it would be so weird if I got pregnant. I think it would be awesome as fuck.
Destiny, you would be weird. Like, I have no words for it. You don't look like someone who'd have a child belly. A child belly. You just don't. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. And for you, sir, does she look like a sir?
That's why I think it'd be cool if I got pregnant. Plus it'd be my baby.
It would be our baby.
Our baby. Both of you, have you gotten jealous? I'm not a jealous person. She always is like, why aren't you jealous? Like, why don't you need peanut butter with your jelly? Like, what are you doing? Every time Wasabi lays on my chest, you get mad and take him away.
Because I love my Wasabi and want him to cuddle with me.
Yeah, and not me.
Did you ladies have your first big fight yet?
Yes. That's how I broke my laptop. She was really upset, and like I was in the middle of playing Sims, and I know it's stupid to say that, but she got so mad that I didn't come chasing after her in the living room. And I finally got up, and when I got up, I like so mad I just threw my laptop.
And by the way, it really wasn't as hard as you guys are probably imagining.
It really wasn't.
She's not like crazy like
I didn't think I was gonna break it. I really didn't. The only reason I think it broke is because it landed weird on its side. Since my laptop's broken, we just have like a makeshift computer kind of area right here. I start using a TV for a screen for my laptop because my laptop was broke. My laptop got broke because me and her were literally arguing over me playing Sims and not doing something. I couldn't even tell you what it was, but when I went to get up, I was mad and I just dropped it and broke it. I didn't like throw it down, but I dropped it, trying to like walk away from the situation.
Oh, get this, you guys. Freaking Destiny dropped her laptop the other day on the floor because she's Mrs. Huff Huff and Puff Puff, and it broke completely. Like, you're gonna show them? Okay.
Yep. Completely shattered.
Why do you talk like you're a cowgirl? Completely shattered.
But it's okay because I just connected with the HDMI and there it is on the TV.
She's playing freaking Sims right now. Like, whenever she plays Sims, like, just don't bother talking to her because she's not gonna listen to anything you're gonna say. Anyways.
And they are digging it.
I just want to say what we're called as PCA workers, which stands
we
for
are
Patient Care Assistants. I love it.
We love it.
Most of them have Alzheimer's and dementia.
You lose some.
You
They are going to die.
You have to realize that that does happen.
You really have to have a lot of patience. If you don't, you're not going to make it.
Oh God, no.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another live stream. I hope you're all having a great day today. Alright, so we're looking at Foodie and Peetz today. So Foodie Beauty has a friend named Peetz that's been around since she started her YouTube channel and way before that. But Peetz is the second character to her channel for sure. And so they dated and ended up being engaged. They were living together for, I think they were together for like 7 years. And then they broke up. Chantal's gonna tell us how that went down here. But basically she just wasn't interested in being with Peetz anymore, and she wanted something different. And then she met Bibi. And that's who she was living with when she started her Facebook, her YouTube journey. So what we have here is a timeline, sort of their relationship together. They're going to talk about how they met in high school and about working together after high school and moving in together while they were working together. And then we're going to get to know a little bit more about Peetz himself. And then, Foodie's going to tell us more about their relationship and how she moved on from it. So there's lots of little clips in here that we'll watch. Alright, let's see what we got here.
When I go to my hometown, I have so many people that I have to see because I don't go there too often. One of them is one of my best friends, who's my ex. I'll have to explain that. I realize it's not really a usual thing that I hang out with my ex. I find that weird that people find it weird. I'm not very usual. I like to do things just because other people find it weird. I like to be contrary.
Now that's something you should know about Foodie. She does like to be contrary and do things just because people tell her she shouldn't do it.
And that's how I ended up dating Peetz, actually. The relationship I'm in now, I was in for almost 6 years. It'll be 6 years in April. Before that, I was in a relationship for 7 years. 2005, sorry, it was about 6 years. We've been friends since like 2003 when we were in high school together. His name is Jamie. We met in high school in writing class.
Hentai is anime, except it's for people 18 and up because it's pornographic. Horny aliens with tentacles that want to get intimate with human girls. They
I met him in a writer's class in high school, and he was bullied, he was picked on, he just seemed to ignore it. Do you have any old pics of you and Peetz when you dated? Yes, somewhere I must, right? Remember that photo album?
I know I have one.
Where? Is it like close by?
It's over in my room.
Do you know where it is? Can you get it?
Yeah.
Oh.
The room isn't really close by, though.
Do I look nice?
No.
No, I mean, do I look nice in the picture?
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant now. I thought you meant that you look like nice now. No, you look like garbage these days.
Well, that's it. You're getting a little hint.
Yeah. Oh, take my hand. Ah, come on. You're gonna fall unless you take my hand.
No, give me your other hand.
Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough.
I don't even know what picture it is. We went to Sears to get our pictures taken.
You take my little hand.
No, get it away from me.
Take it. Take my hand.
The poses they wanted me to do. The woman was like, okay, now can you cross your legs and go like this and hold a rose? Can you go sideways and go like this? And he'll be behind me doing this at like a higher level. Like, what's with the shitty friggin' Sears photo poses? You should have seen the props. You ever watch Napoleon Dynamite, that girl who does glamour shots? That's what the props were like. She had like a thing of props. Here, hold this friggin' rose. I was a straight up bitch to the woman at the end. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And we paid like $70 for those pictures or something stupid crazy. Maybe $40, I don't know. As we were waiting to get our pictures taken, these two guys walked by and were like, oh my god, look at that fat ass. I swear. I swear. I'm trying not to be bitter. I'm just joking. I was like self-conscious about it after for a long time. I thought I looked cute.
Alright, so this is their first photo shoot together. As a couple. So she has some more embarrassing stories here.
You remember that? You didn't even hear the guys call me fat. Has that ever happened to you guys?
I never pay attention to what other people are saying.
Yeah, you didn't even pay attention when someone was right in your face making fun of you. You just kept talking.
We used to have this guy in our high school. His name was Claude. And everyone used
So this one time, Foodie decided she was going to tell a story about Peetz. Except she called the guy Claude instead of Peetz. So she tells the story, and then later on, she tells the story again. But this time, the main character really is Peetz. We'll see, she kind of like, she kind of messed up here.
to make fun of him. Well, not everyone, I didn't. But like the popular kids would. This poor guy actually stood up for him one day, I'll tell you about that. You know how we have lockers in the hall? Well, I had to pass his locker every day to get to one of my English classes. And the minute you turn the corner to go down that specific hall, you could smell it. There was a rotten sandwich, later turned out to be bologna and cheese. He had left it somewhere in there. He never cleaned his locker. It was so nasty. One time it was a container of like beef stroganoff he left in there. I remember he eventually was forced to clean out the locker, but he was too embarrassed, so a guidance counselor did it for him. And I remember like everyone was watching, and he pulled out a container. It was all green. We used to have wagers on what kind of rotten food was in his locker. People would take bets, and the guidance counselor would come and clean out his locker.
Do you think people were really taking bets on what was in Peetz's locker?
I think he had issues. I mean, he was severely bullied. It is so horrible when I think, oh man, I got mad one day. I was actually nice to this guy. I found him very interesting. He was in one of my writing classes.
I met Peetz in a writer's class in high school, and he was bullied. He was picked on. He just seemed to ignore it.
We were leaving class at the same time together. We were just walking down the hall together, not really talking. One of the popular freaking douchebags comes down the hall, kind of shoves past him, and is like, look at this Einstein! To Claude. I got so mad, I just lost it. I just went off on him. And like everyone was looking, even the guy was like shocked. And he was like, calm down, fat chick. This guy was fat too. He was big, big, big. He kind of reminded me of the bully from Billy Madison. O'Doyle rules! O'Doyle rules! I'm surprised he even knew who Einstein was. I was just like, he's a lot smarter than you, I can assure you of that. Attitude problem. I just had enough of his crap. And this guy was smart though. He just brushed it off. He never gave into it. He never paid attention to the hate. Just did his thing. Oh, high school. Kids can be so mean.
He was walking down the hall in this.
Okay, so that's the first version of the story, but now she's gonna tell it again. This time Peetz is Claude.
Like stupid jock who looks like O'Doyle Rules from Billy Madison.
O'Doyle rules! O'Doyle rules!
He was like, hey, look at this genius! Right in Peetz's face. And Peetz was talking about something from class, and he just kept talking like the guy wasn't even there. And I was like, yeah, look at you, Einstein. And I like told him right off. He just like tuned him right out. I need to be Peetz when dealing with haters. Right, Peetz?
Yeah. Also turns out I thought you were that picture.
Really looking forward to it. That's okay. I think it just shocks you when you hear somebody be that abusive in public, like to somebody that you don't even know. It always surprises me and shocks me that people would have the nerve to say that. That's what was shocking about it. But the pictures were even worse. So I have that somewhere, I don't even know, probably at the old apartment. I kept it, and I think Bibi was like, why are you keeping that? Because don't you find it would be weird if like you spend 7-8 years with somebody of your life to just completely throw away every memory, every single thing you have of them? I don't know, that seems weird to me. A lot of people, that's normal.
It's in a box somewhere in my room. But it was a picture of you and me at one of your barbecues.
Damn, where's the pic? Right here! But it really got to me, and I thought, you know, the fact that all the popular kids didn't like him, I'm like, well, he's probably cool. Because honestly, the popular kids that were mean in high school were very dull. They were just pretty much people I wouldn't want to hang out with. I made friends with him, I chatted it up with him, and he just turned out to be really cool. Very intelligent guy, very, very intelligent. Fell in love with his brain, really. I ended up falling in love with his personality, and he's a very, very smart guy, and he has a good sense of humor. We became really good friends. And then I had gone off to university, but I fell in love with him before I left for university after high school, and I wasn't ready. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I just felt really depressed. I moved away, an hour and a half away. I didn't have a car at the time. You know, I was just out of high school. I wasn't ready. So
Okay, so they weren't dating in high school, I guess, but they were pretty close, it seems like. And then, yeah, she says that she went to I think she moved to Ottawa to go to school and then decided that's not what she wanted to do. And I think she says here that it was, she missed Peetz. So then she'll tell us here what she did.
Dropped out and went back to live in my hometown. We started working together at the same place. We got full-time jobs. We saved some money up and we decided to move in together as friends. We each had our own separate bedrooms. At some point, I don't know if it was out of convenience, but we ended up rooming together. I fell more and more in love with him, but he didn't like me that way. He wasn't interested in me romantically.
That's so interesting because by the end of it, it seems like Peetz doesn't want to end the relationship, but Chantal does. But he didn't want to get into the relationship to begin with.
No matter who I dated in between being with him, I ended up always thinking about him and realizing that I was in love with him. So I started dating other guys, which made him jealous. So we hooked up. We were together for like 7 years. And then one day we both worked the same shift together. And then where we worked was like the best. We would just play Trivial Pursuit all night, which I really sucked at. I was the type of person who sucked so hard at Trivial Pursuit that other people yelled at me. I'm not dumb. I read a lot and everything, but trivia is not my thing, you know? I don't know who Benjamin Franklin had sex with in 1864 and things like that. I'm not good at that type of trivia. We were working one night. We noticed that naturally we were just talking about making future plans together, and I'm like, well, if we're making future plans together, don't you think that we should just date each other? And that was that.
How romantic is that? Aw. It was just logical that we should be together since we're making future plans together. We got in a relationship with Peetz based on a technicality.
Started dating. I was definitely in love with him at some point. I don't know if it was just one day I realized. I think it was declining a bit over time, but I just kind of ignored the signs out of convenience, and the thought didn't even want to enter into my mind because I did love this person as a person, and the last thing I wanted to do was hurt him. The thing is when I broke up with him, we weren't intimate for like months, and I just wasn't feeling it anymore. The spell literally wore off, that in love spell. So I broke up with him, and it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I still have guilt to this day, and I think that's why I still want to hang out with him, because I want to make sure he's okay. I still have a lot of guilt with that to this day. I still really feel really bad because he's still not with somebody. I know he's lonely, and that's why I feel some guilt, and I'd like to hang out with him when I can. But
that doesn't sound very good, does it?
I do like spending time with him, just because I didn't have romantic love for him anymore to completely get rid of this person. He's a wonderful soul. He's a wonderful person, and to not have him as a person in my life anymore just because I don't want to shag him anymore would just seem really tragic. I would feel like hanging out with him. It's comforting in a way because we have such a big history. I think we'll be friends forever. He's a great roommate. Like, we had 2 cats together.
Oh, this is them with their 2 cats. We've got Chantal on the couch with Timbit. And I think that's BBJ. It would have to be. And then we got one of Peetz and Timbit over here. Yeah, alright. So this would have been like after high school when they were living together.
We had our own little thing, you know. All this to say I'm going to see him, and we go out for dinner every time. It's tradition. So that is why I am still in touch with him, that I am still good friends with him.
Okay, so I think this is one of the first times we meet Peetz.
Hi.
We just came from the Jukebox Burger because I wanted to see Peetz. I want to tell them about your news, Peetz.
Gonna be moving. I don't know if I'm moving to Kitchener or if I'm gonna hold off and try to find somewhere in Ottawa.
He got a job offer in Waterloo, right?
Yep.
Kitchener, whatever. You say Kitchener, but it's Waterloo.
Yeah, Kitchener, Waterloo.
Oh, okay. He might be moving like 5 hours away from me. I wanted to try Jukebox Burger. Was featured on the Food Network on the show You Gotta Eat Here. The food looked better than it tasted. It was so disappointing.
The burger was adequate. It was a burger. It was fine.
So that's it, right?
Yep.
Keep looking at myself. Does that make me a vain person?
Yes. You're so vain you probably think this comment is about you.
Well, it is. So I guess that's it for now. Hi, Peetz.
Hi. Hi, Tess.
So are you prepared to be scared?
Alright, so it's Halloween and they're out doing some Halloween stuff.
Meh.
You believe in ghosts?
Not really.
Not at all?
Not particularly, no.
So the place we're going, it's called Ghost Hill. It's in Lesqueville, Quebec. I don't know, it's really weird. There's like some really creepy stuff going on. So I think we're gonna go check it out. How about that?
Alright.
If anything bad happens to us, well, I guess I wouldn't be uploading this video, right? If anything bad happened to us.
Unless it's uploaded from beyond the grave.
That's true.
Somebody finds the phone and uploads it.
Ooh. But first we need to go get comics, so he has something to do. We're gonna get pumpkin spice latte because also it's in season. Alright guys, we'll see you soon. Bye!
Bye.
I'm looking for like an abandoned church or something. Peetz is the cameraman right now.
Have arrived.
No. Have we?
Apparently.
Is this the church?
It is. It doesn't look very abandoned. The
get there?
spooky Canada Post boxes.
This is a creepy ass road. We did pass a church that was like lit up. I'm gonna go back to the church and kind of look at it more. I don't know what road this is. So maybe I just
So they're out at night looking for haunted structures to go look at. But yeah, it's kind of dark. I don't think they're going to see much.
got the address wrong or something. Alright guys, so we're just gonna end the video here. There's not really anything more exciting to see on the way home. I'm just gonna drop Peetz off, go home. Thanks for watching, guys. If we see any ghosts in between, we'll definitely put the camera back on. We have not seen or heard anything strange.
And I did see one strange thing.
What?
You.
Oh!
Burn!
I got burned, whatever. Bye guys, say bye!
Bye.
I hate.
Alright, so we have another visit with Peetz.
These things. Sorry. Do you want to show people your t-shirt while we're waiting at the doctor's office?
Squirrel Girl. She's the unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl. Powers of both you and a squirrel. I'm 34 now.
Do you have a gray beard?
Yeah.
And you're losing hair?
Yeah.
So am I.
I'm old.
Peetz at 34.
Well, happy birthday, Pete.
I am on the Vanilla Ice cassette hole.
See what's going on, so... Are you video bombing me?
A little bit.
Are you holding my apple?
Yes.
So that's what I'm gonna eat, guys. Actually, I'm gonna have some water, and then I'm gonna have my apple. Here's the birthday boy!
Yeah, I'm 34 now.
Oh god, so you're gonna be busy with comics, aren't you?
Yep.
We are just going to eat dinner.
Yep.
Yeah, so something they do together is go pick up comics for Peetz. Peetz doesn't drive, so when he's with Chantal, she'll take him to the comic book store. So he usually gets a comic book haul when he's with Chantal.
The high school's coming up on the right. This is where we met in an English writing class, eh?
Yeah.
I remember we had to write a poem and read it to the front of the class, and his was called Ode to a Fatty, and it was so horrible, and everyone was just silent after he read it. He was being, like, ironic. He was trying to be funny, but it was just like, you know? So we're at the restaurant.
One of those times that makes you go, son of a bitch.
I love how animated you get. Did anyone look at us when you did that?
Don't think so.
So what are you drinking?
Sprite is too strong. Listen, bud. She's got partially squirrely blood.
Is this Squirrel Girl?
She has her own theme song.
She has her own theme song?
Yep.
How come it sounds like Spider-Man?
Because she just took the Spider-Man theme and used her own lyrics for it.
Oh, can she do that?
Yep.
Oh.
Spider-Man never trademarked that song. Spider-Man is bad at PR.
So-
he never trademarked his own song. Thus, it's open for parody. It's open for other people to use that tune. Yep. And Squirrel Girl came up with the best version of it.
How was Tim Tim?
Still fat.
Tim Tim is Peetz's cat. She used to live with us when we were living together.
Her name's Timbit, but
Yeah, a Timbit is like a donut hole, a Canadian word for donut hole from Tim Hortons, and she is around like one, so her name turned out to be very prophetic. She's so cute. Yes, she is. Tim Tim Tim. She's so cute. I suck at this. Peetz is having chicken au gratin, chicken chicken with cheese and bacon. I'm having potatoes. Kraft French dressing is vegan, which is good. And just a salad. Peetz.
Yeah, so when they broke up, Timbit went with Peetz, and Bibi Junes went with Chantal.
And I one night were working together, and we worked with this woman who was so uptight about everything. We were reading Wikipedia pages because it was slow and boring, and we were reading the Wikipedia page on farts. It sounded very scholarly, but it was also had a lot of humor in it, and we were giggling. This woman, whom we'll call Mary Jane, she came over to us. Her eyes literally, she already had kind of bulgy eyes, but they were popping out of her head, and she was trembling. What are you, 5 years old? You better stop that now. I'm going to report you to HR. Like.
Okay, there's a little story from when they worked together.
For laughing at farts. When farts are funny, right, Peetz?
Farts are funny.
So I just thought that was just a quick story time. We were talking about that. It was so funny.
Every time you sit somewhere, you're sitting in the farts of everyone who sat there before you.
That's right. She was so livid over some farts, man. It was something else. Okay, guys, I'm going to go for now. We're going to head back in the treacherous weather, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! I'm picking up Peetz, and we're gonna go eat. I have a new special, sweet maple syrup. I think we're gonna try this one. This 3 filet meal. With whiskey maple.
Look at those claws. Look at the shadow of those claws.
Sauce. Yum, yum, yum. This is the St. Hubert's coleslaw. It is the signature coleslaw. It's like a vinaigrette, but they have like the best coleslaw, and it's unlimited, all you can eat here. This is their cream of chicken soup, big chunks of rotisserie chicken inside. It's really delicious. Okay, so I have 3 chicken fillets, bread, gravy, maple sauce, sweet potato fries. What are you having? You're having the same thing. Chicken tenders.
Fillets with regular fries.
Okay, tell everybody about your t-shirt. Oh, everybody, who are you? Introduce yourself.
Okay, so this might have been the very first time we met Peetz. But they do go out to eat quite a bit when they're together. Makes sense though, because they don't like, I don't know, like Peetz wouldn't go over to Chantal's house for a visit where she lives with Bibi. I don't think Peetz and Bibi actually ever met each other. Hey, just potato, hey, good to see you. Glad you could make it.
I'm James. I'm sure I've been given another name on here.
Peetz.
There you go.
Okay, tell everybody about the t-shirt.
This t-shirt is designed by Jessie Sharon. She designed it originally as a dress for plus-size people. So if you're,
that's a bonus.
She's got
cool.
eyeball dress. She's got fighting unicorn.
I might check it out.
She's really nice and really funny.
And we're gonna eat, right?
Yep. And I'm stealing some of your sauce.
Hey.
Oh, that was a bit more than I meant.
You know what the penalty is for that? Ass kicking. Just kidding. Maple cake. Pete's going into the comic shop there, get his weekly comics, usually every Thursday or something. It's starting to snow, the weather's gonna be bad. I'm hungry.
I am 35 today.
Yeah, an old geezer.
Yep. I'm ancient.
You feel any older?
Pretty sure this is middle age. Like halfway through my life. Given the way I eat.
Yeah, you eat microwave everything.
Yeah.
You don't eat any fresh
And
vegetable.
I don't take any care of my health, so.
No multivitamin?
Yeah, this is the midpoint of my life.
Are you okay with that?
No, I want to live forever.
Well,
upload my brain into the Matrix. I'm fun living in the Matrix. Shit, use my body as a battery. I don't care. Just keep me thinking I'm alive.
For somebody who wants to live forever, you sure don't eat any vegetables.
Nope. I also want to live happy.
Chantal's reactions to Peetz, her wheezy laugh. Potato, yes. Yes, Peetz was going there quite often, like every time he'd go to visit Foodie, and then I think it was like after COVID that he stopped going.
So we're gonna go see The Gentleman?
Yeah.
Hey guys. So we're just at Baton Rouge. We're both getting ripped. Peetz is showing me some cute Twitter animal videos. He always saves for me because he knows I'd like them. Right?
Yep.
And he even asked for extra ice in my drink when I was in the bathroom. He knows me. Well, we've known each other since like high school, so you know me well. So are you having a nice birthday so far?
Sure.
That's good. Awkward. All right, our food's here. Pete's got fries and slaw. This is the smallest order of ribs they have. 10 ounce and loaded baked potato. I'm bringing this home. Hey guys, I always say I'm going vegan, I'm going fruitarian, and then I show myself eating ribs.
For the record, she's been like this forever.
Even before YouTube.
Oh yeah, like for as long as I've known her. And that's like 2002.
I don't want to seem insensitive. Anyways, we gotta get to the movie. It's 8:15.
Well, we're talking about stupid things you do. Audience, back me up on this. Whenever she drops me off, she tells me it's been a slice.
Yeah.
Back me up. Should I drop her as a friend?
No one's gonna back you up because that's a common saying. It's been a slice. I remembered something that Peetz hates. Tell him what you hate.
Fusilli.
He hates fusilli. So every time we're in a grocery store and we are in the pasta aisle, which isn't very often, but I think it happened once since. But we're in the pasta aisle and we've seen fusilli and I'm like, you don't like fusilli.
And I'll be like, I hate fusilli.
We're weird.
Oh, they're perfect for each other.
I rubbed off on him when we lived together,
Oh, yeah.
so now he's broken.
She's contagious.
We're gonna go to the movie. We're gonna go see The Gentleman, Guy Ritchie movie.
You're richer than you think. Scotiabank. Make more than a living. Be proud of what you do.
Smart Sweets.
Enter the trades, where you can be proud of what you give.
Feel each other.
Proud of what you know.
And a
Be
small
proud of what you
buttered
do in your
popcorn
career.
and a diet soda.
Explore
Is it good?
the trades at Ontario.
Oh, he can't wait. He's got to eat some right now while Chantal's filming the popcorn.
It looks good. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
We are out of the movie. Pretty good.
Potato for sure. Yeah, I think it was a lot easier to watch her back then than it is now. Especially after everything she's done. And we've witnessed her do.
Good movie, eh?
Yeah, it's good.
If you like Guy Ritchie movies, you will like this one.
Yeah, he's really good at those kinds of criminal movies with lots of twists and fun characters. Hugh Grant was great. Colin Farrell was just so not Colin Farrell, which was great.
It was pretty good. I liked it. And plus, Eye Candy for the Ladies, it has Charlie Hunnam with his original accent and Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, and there's a few other good-looking guys in there as well. There are a couple of attractive women, but only one of them actually plays any role in the movie.
Hope you had a good birthday, Peetz.
Yep, now to go read comics.
Yes. See you later.
Bye.
So that was Peetz turning 35. Alright, so we're gonna get to know Peetz more in his own words. He made a few videos when he started his YouTube page, and so I have a little video here of a couple of those videos put together of him just kind of talking about himself.
Hello. I should introduce myself. My name is James. This is my first video, so I thought that the best approach here would be to just tell you a little bit about myself. Some of you have probably followed me over from Foodie Beauty. She is my best friend and my roommate. Here's some information about me and some questions that I get pretty routinely whenever I'm on a live with her or myself. I am currently 36 at the time of recording this. My birthday's in February 1985. So if you're watching this later on, you can do the math to figure out how old I am at whenever you're watching it. I've known Chantal for like 20 years. We went to high school together. That's how we met. I am a geek, big comic book reader, particularly Marvel. I am very much a Marvel zombie. I don't really read any DC because I made my decision and I don't have the time or money to get into a second comic book universe.
That seems pretty reasonable and logical.
So, I read some indie stuff as well. A lot of indie comics that just aren't actually going on right now, sadly. I'm also a huge Trekkie, love Star Trek, have since I was a kid. Grew up on Next Generation, so it's always going to have a spot in my heart. Do also love Deep Space Nine, really enjoying the modern Star Trek series. Very much a Star Wars fan as well, do enjoy Star Wars a great deal, particularly the original trilogy. I did enjoy the sequel trilogy. I'm not too big into anime. There's a few that I watch, but not many. Cowboy Bebop, of course. As you can see the posters here. Love Cowboy Bebop. I love Spirited Away is my favorite movie, and I love the Ghibli movies in general. I watched Sailor Moon. I enjoyed Sailor Moon. I'm not really a big TV watcher these days. Not a big movie watcher these days. I haven't watched many movies in the past few years. Video games, I'm not really a big gamer either. Love the Mass Effect trilogy. Played the hell out of those games. Mario, always great. Played a few Zelda games. They were great. But beyond that, I haven't really played a lot of other video games. I do enjoy watching video game Let's Plays. I've watched a fair number of games. Music, I'm mostly just into indie rock. I'm one of those hipster, if you've heard of it, it's too mainstream types. I mean, there are some popular artists I like as well, but mostly it's indie stuff. Heartless Bastards is my favorite band. A bunch of other stuff that most people have not heard of.
Potato. Yeah, you're right. He hasn't really changed too much. He sticks to his few things that he likes, and doesn't change his mannerisms and stuff. There's not many times that he rages, but when he does, it's kind of funny because you're not expecting it, because he just is such a calm guy.
Not really much into older music, classic rock and stuff like that. Never really been able to get into that. Never really been able to get into pop. What else is there to talk about? I feel like that probably mostly covers it, honestly. Feel free to check out.
So he's talked about mostly his interests. At this point, he hasn't really talked about much more personal stuff. Let's see what else we got here.
My friend Foodie Beauty's channel. She does a lot of live streams. I occasionally show up in her live streams and in some of her recorded videos here and there. Beyond that, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. And have a great day. Hello again. Thank you all for watching my first video and for all the kind comments you've made. It's really nice, really grateful for the fact that you're all enjoying my video. One thing I do want to make clear is I really don't want drama on my channel. I'm not that kind of person. I know there's a lot of people coming over from my friend's channel, and I know that she has a lot of drama that follows her, and I don't really want that here. So I will be deleting comments that are pretty much just drama baiting once I start getting back down to the comic shop again.
So around this time, Chantal was with Natter a lot. So there was a lot of Natter drama going on around this time, so people were coming to Peetz to see if they could get a little bit more of the scoop as to what was really going on. Because sometimes Peetz would trip up and tell the truth, contradicting the lie that Chantal would tell.
Again, I'll make sure to show off the comics that I get whenever I get down there. I will try to show off my cat every now and then. She's behind my bed right now, so I can't show her off right now.
Oh yeah, Timbit was living here at the time. But then passed away while they were living here.
Sorry about that. For those who didn't know, I do have a cat. Her name is Timbit. She's 15 or 16 years old. She has feline leukemia virus, which means she has to be isolated from the other cats. So she does pretty much have to be locked up in my room all day, which is a shame, but on the other hand, I do occasionally try to let her out. And even when she does, at most, she'll go down the hall, sniff around a bit, and then run back here. So she is fine staying in my room. I'm just doing lives on this channel pretty soon. Just to chat with anybody who wants to chat with me. Yeah, I don't think I have really much else to mention here.
Potato, yeah, because of the illness, so they had to keep Timbit away from the other two, Sam and BBJ. Yeah, so when he started off his channel, he was just doing videos, and then later on, like now, all he does is the live streaming.
Thank you again for tuning in, for your kind comments. I hope you keep watching. I believe in being honest. The main thing I'm hoping for is that I'll get monetized soon enough, and then I can start just making some extra money in addition to the money I'll be making at work once I feel mentally well enough to go back to work. Yeah, keep watching and make me that money. Thank you very much. Have a nice day or night or evening or afternoon or wherever it is, whatever's appropriate for where you are when you're watching this. Bye. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. Most of you continue to be very nice in my comments, and I very much appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving to my fellow Canadian viewers, my fellow Knuckleheads. I did go to my mom's today for Thanksgiving dinner. Was there with my mom, my brother, and my brother's best friend. Yeah, it was a nice time. Very nice dinner. My mom always does really good turkey dinners. Turkey's always really good.
So when he was living with Chantal at this time, they would travel to their hometown together during holidays. So I think this was one of those times.
Mashed potatoes, and she does sweet potatoes, which I don't like. The vegetables are always really good. Yeah, it's always a really good dinner whenever she does that. She always makes some brownies as a dessert as well, because I really like brownies. Got to take a few of them home with me, so I'll have some of those for...
Peetz is just so, like, simple, like in a way that, like, he doesn't need much to make him happy.
Later tonight, yeah, the four of us just sat, chatted. My best friend went to her family's dinner. She drove me down to Cornwall, and then she had dinner with her family, so she wasn't there for my dinner. So the four of us were there. Yeah, we just had some nice conversations. Talked with my brother a bit about the MCU and things like that. One of the things that we have in common is enjoying that. Also, happy Indigenous Peoples Day, which is what should be replacing Columbus Day. Yeah, you people really like me. So thank you for all the nice words that I'm getting. Timbit is doing okay. She's my cat. She's just sleeping on my bed right now, looking very, very cute. Yeah, I just wanted to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, happy Canadian Thanksgiving, and comment a little bit on what I did today. And just say that it was like I said, just a really nice evening, a really good meal. And
Anxious potato, yeah, for sure.
And didn't end up taking any leftovers home, probably for the best, because honestly, turkey gets pretty boring pretty quickly when you have it often enough. So leave that to my mom and my brother to deal with all the turkey sandwiches. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. For right now, I'm just getting used to making videos. Yeah, I think that's about all I've got for tonight. So thank you, and have a nice night. Hello, everybody. Thank you for staying with me for so far. Still early days, but thank you for staying with me so far. So one question I've been asked quite a few times is what I look for in a woman.
Alright, so we're going to get to know more of Pete's interests in partners. Let's see if he describes Chantal or someone else. Because he really seems hung up on Chantal, but I think he's okay with them just being friends.
I am single right now, so that's sort of a big reason why that question comes up, I think. So go over what I really look for in a woman. First off, breathing. And even that's negotiable.
He's funny.
I'm kidding. First thing, she needs to live in Ottawa, because that's where I live. I'm not really interested in a long-distance relationship right now. I want to be able to cuddle, you know? Cuddle and smooch. So, needs to be someone that I can actually meet with in person. I am, unfortunately, somewhat shallow. I do want to be at least a little bit physically attracted to the woman. There's nothing really specific in terms of the looks. Race, hair color, eye color, body shape, most of it not really important. Do like a girl with huge tracts of land. I'm kidding. Breast size doesn't matter to me. Body shape, there's nothing specific I look for in terms of the woman's appearance. I do want her to be somewhat attractive. She doesn't need to be like a 10 or anything like that. Getting more specific, no kids. I do not want kids. I do not like kids. I don't want to be a part of raising somebody else's kids. So yeah.
Well, at least he knows what he wants.
Yeah, no kids. And something that's probably going to be a bit more of a deal breaker for a lot of women, no dogs. I don't like dogs. I'm scared of them. I'm really uncomfortable with them. Doesn't matter how sweet your dog is, I will not be comfortable with the dog. So I don't want to date somebody who has a dog. Any woman I date does have to like cats, because I like cats and I have a cat. That's honestly sort of the biggest possible deal breaker, I think, is that part. I would prefer an indoor person.
Potato, yeah, he's having no trouble describing what he wants. Might be a little difficult for some people.
When I go on dating sites, I find that there's a lot of outdoor people. Oh, they like to camp, they like to play sports, they like to go for hikes and biking, and I don't like doing any of that stuff. I like just sitting
He's so honest.
inside with air conditioning on. So I'd want somebody who is more into that as well.
Potato.
They do have to like Studio Ghibli. All I really want is somebody I can cuddle up with and watch Ghibli movies. Personality stuff. I just want someone I can chill out with, talk to, laugh with. Somebody who I have fun being around, who I find pleasant to be around and enjoyable company. We don't need to discuss philosophy or anything like that. You know, someone that I can have a conversation with. Someone who...
He's going into a lot more detail than I thought he would.
has a sense of humor that is close enough to mine that will laugh at similar things. Don't really need hobbies to match or anything like that. She doesn't need to be like a big comic geek or whatever. We should obviously have some common interests. Some TV shows that we both like that we can watch together, or something that we both like that we can do together. That obviously is something that
Potato, he's looking for a life partner. Because he thought it was Chantal, but Chantal's busy right now with Nader at this point. And right now, in current time, she's also busy. Not sure if she's going to get a divorce or not. Can you imagine, though, if that's where the road was going, where her road was going, where she was going to break up with Sala and move back to Canada and life partners with Peetz again.
that is pretty helpful in maintaining any sort of relationship, is being able to do something together. I need a woman who has common values to me, which is probably going to mean no conservatives, because they have just very different values than I do. Beyond that, don't really think there's much else that I really need to mention in terms of... Oh, actually, yes. I do want a woman who's reasonably confident and someone who doesn't really rely on other people for validation. Yeah, someone who's just kind of confident. Not necessarily super confident, but like I said, someone who doesn't rely on other people for validation. A lot of people do. Yeah, so someone who doesn't. And beyond...
Potato, I agree, yes. I think we were discussing that yesterday too on the other video. We were talking about Chantal moving to Canada and if she would be roommates with Peetz again. And it just, yeah, it just seemed like it would be a better idea if he kind of kept his distance. For his own sake, really.
Yeah, I don't think there's really much else specific that I'm really looking for. It just comes down to whether we click, whether we actually get along. I am on a couple of dating sites. I'm on OkCupid and Plenty of Fish, and I do have Tinder. But I'm not putting any real effort into looking for a girlfriend. I'm at a stage where I'm open to dating, but not actively seeking anybody. You know, if something comes along, cool, great. If not, I'm fine as I am right now. It's not a big deal whether I'm single or not. I've been single for 8 years as it is, so...
Yeah, so I think he dated like maybe 1 or 2 people after Chantal, but there hasn't been many people around.
What difference is a little bit longer going to make, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what I look for. On another topic, I've got a lot of subscribers. I'm at like 4,500 subscribers right now, last I looked, so that's pretty great. Thank you all for following me. Yeah, that pretty much covers it. Thank you again for your views. Hope you all have a great day. Bye.
Bibi's at work. I just rushed home so we could take the car. I got stuck behind student driver. And every time I lose patience with student drivers, I just remember I was one, and I was really the worst one. So let me tell you about it. Back in 2010, I was in my late 20s, living with my ex. I wanted to get my driver's license. I blame some of my weight gain on getting my license because I used to walk a lot back then. So I wanted to sign up for driver's education. And so I signed up. It was like, I don't know, $700-800. So I get there. I'm the oldest one there, okay? I'm like granny compared. All like 16-year-olds, okay? So I kind of felt left out, but whatever. Some people learn to drive later in life, you know? Even later than that. The driving instructor, oh my gosh, you guys. Hugh. His name is Hugh, and he had his son Hugh Jr. Hugh was an older man.
So this is a story that's just kind of happening while Chantal was living with Peetz.
Looked exactly like the elf guy from Neverending Story. White hair, very short, he had white hair growing out his ears. Very nice guy, very eccentric. His son Hugh was a bit of a show-off, like, you know, he drove like a really nice sports car, would come into class on his day to teach wearing shades, like the whole class. He would teach the class wearing sunglasses. Like, okay, we get it, we are wearing Oakleys. You know, maybe the fluorescent lights hurt his eyes, because that does happen to people. I just thought it a bit strange. Unusual, but whatever. I myself am of the strange and unusual. You know, the in theory class part was fine. I'm very good at that, like, classroom shit. When it came down to driving with Hugh, oh my goodness. I don't know which one to drive with was worse, but I was very nervous learning how to drive. I'm getting better now, but I was a very nervous driver at first. My first lesson was with Hugh, senior. So they take you out in a learner car where they have a brake on the passenger side so they can brake if needed. I must have been a terrible, terrible driver. I stressed this poor guy out. I'm surprised I didn't give him a heart attack. I was really bad. I was going through red lights, almost hitting cars, trying to merge. He would always yell. To this day, my mom and I laugh. Whenever I'm driving too slow, she'll imitate Hugh because he would go, "Give it gas! Give it gas, Chantal! Give it gas!" Like to speed up. Then, when I would go out with Hugh Jr., he would make us go out in his sports car, and they were like bucket seats, and I really hate bucket seats because I'm short. He'd put the seat back and just like chill, like act like he's, you know, not paying attention very much, or maybe so I didn't feel as nervous, and he'd be eating something, you know, like just really chill. So it did make me feel less nervous, but at the same time, the vehicle was harder to drive. Miraculously, I ended up passing the class. I think I had a G1 license at that point. And I was going for my G2 test, like the way the license is here. You have your written, which gives you a G1. You practice with somebody who's been a driver for 5 years. Then your G2, you can drive, but you can't go on highways. And then your G is a full license. So going for my first drive test. And the driving instructor, I was hoping I wouldn't get him because he's very cold and he wears sunglasses too. All the time. This like younger guy. He's kind of good looking, doesn't talk to you, very poker face. Please do something to make me feel a little more at ease. You know? Smile. Won't kill you. So I was already really nervous. And when
Oh no. I don't think she passes her first test and then has to go back and take it again.
I'm nervous, I have to go to the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like number 2. TMI! So I pull out of the driveway, tells me where to go. Oh my god, this was... To make a long story short, I end up failing in every way possible. He was a very quiet guy, and even he was going, whoa! I ran a red light. I was paying attention. I couldn't focus. I was focusing on having to go to the bathroom and him marking.
She was in a rough situation here.
Me. And that was dangerous to be out in those conditions. Then he took me on a street where I had to merge, like it was multi-lanes, and he wanted to see how I was merging. Almost hit a car. Fail number 2. The more serious thing I did, kind of embarrasses me to think about it, but ever since doing this, I now make sure to look. I was coming up to an intersection. There was a lady gonna cross the street. I was like this, and she was gonna cross the street here, and I was gonna turn left, and I just kept going. I didn't look over that side to see. I like almost hit her by this much. Strike 3, you're out. That was it. I think it was a nightmare for him, just like it was for Hugh. So we get back, and he's like, I have to fail you. Don't be so nervous. And I felt like saying, don't be so nervous. Partly your fault. You could be a little less cold. Anyway, when I went to read
Potato doesn't have her claws on today.
take the test later, not that day, but later on. I feel bad that he was sick, but it was an older woman. She reminded me of like my grandmother. She was so friendly, so forgiving, very calm, like, okay, we're just gonna go up here, take a left turn, passed, flying colors. So I think it does make a difference, you know? I know you should still be able to drive under that type of pressure, but you can work against someone too, you know? So now I have my full license. I can't imagine not having it. I really can't. I love driving now. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye! I haven't had pizza on. I haven't had
just cause.
pizza, honestly, in a long time, especially pizza. I had a pizza at that really good pizza place a while back with Peetz, but since then I haven't had pizza. When I lived with Peetz, I used to get this every day, every single night. I'd get home from work and look forward to ordering pizza. I was addicted to pizza. I'd be like, Peetz, I'm getting a pizza. And I remember him just looking at me like, what is with you and pizza? You just don't get it, Peetz. You just don't get it. This was, I think, back in 2010. I have a friend who had a bag of shrooms, like a bag. She brought it over. My boyfriend at the time was working nights. It was perfect. So she comes over.
Okay, so here's another story of while she was living with Peetz, the trouble she was getting into.
With this bag of shrooms, we decide to relax, light candles. We start popping them. I probably ate like 3 grams, which is a lot. We're watching funny videos. We're watching funny music videos that used to make us laugh. All of a sudden, that hilarity, like I just started laughing. The candles that were lit, like along the wall, I had these candle holders on the wall. The flames started getting long. We were in like my dining area, which was well lit, but the kitchen was black. Like it was pitch black. There was no lights on in it. The one thing I found annoying about this time was my cat. I have the same cat back then. She seemed to be taunting me. Like, she kept walking along the back of my chair. Then when we were in the living room, she'd be flopped all over. And she just reminded me of like the Cheshire cat, like following me around and floating around. And she looks like a feather duster, right? Because she's fluffy. So that was playing with my mind and I was like, stop bugging me. And she was like staring at me every time. And I love my cat and I love her around, but in my mind, she was taunting me and she was playing with me. Of course, that's ridiculous, but so we're at the dining room table and I'm looking into the dark kitchen and all I see is like full big heads. Like huge heads, just like one looked like a devil. It was like, you know, just these different shape of heads and faces like staring back at me from the darkness with like big grins. Oh, it was creepy. But I was high, so I kind of knew that they were fake. You know what I mean? Like I had that self-awareness that it's just my mind. So that part I was kind of like cool, you know? It was this restlessness I didn't like about the shroom trip. I would try to do something, but then my mind would jump to something else and
Oh man, so I think they make the decision to leave the house while feeling this way.
then I remember I was gonna do something. It was chaos. Oh, it was horrible. Later that night, I had my hand clenched the whole time. I didn't even realize when I opened it later that night that I had like about 5 grams in my hand clenched. So the sweat made the shrooms absorb into my bloodstream, you know? Oh man, it just got worse. Another bad decision we made, and my friend begged me to do this, was to go for a walk. Well, we went for a walk to the grocery store across the street. It was hot. It was really hot out. At the time, I didn't have air conditioning. I was sweating everywhere. And I'm heavy. We get into the grocery store. The fluorescent lights in the produce section made the colors so vivid. The red peppers, the apples, the green, oh my gosh. It looked like I was in a cartoon. I thought I was in a cartoon. It was not a good place to be. You think that everyone's looking at you. Stock boys, like, what? So we get outside. I sit down on the pavement to take a break. You know, it's really hot. We just wanted to hang out front of the store. This older homeless guy comes along. You know, because I'm on shrooms, I'm like super freaked out. Just like paranoid. Like, oh my God, you know, what's
Potato, it's like, yeah, what's gonna happen next?
What's gonna happen? My friend's like, it's okay, it's okay. Good thing she was there and she was more grounded than I was, because if we were both tripping the way I was, it would have been so bad. He came over to us anyways, and I was freaking out, of course. And I don't remember what he said. I don't remember. I just remember my friend being like, let's go, it's time to go. I get up to go, and because I was sweaty, I had ass sweat, and the ass sweat, where I was sitting, there was a big
honest and descriptive.
Big fat butt wet mark on the white pavement.
Moody, hey, good to see you. I hope you're doing well.
I remember the old homeless guy looking at it going, oh, that's nice. Whatever floats your boat. Going back home, I couldn't sleep. I watched The Evil Dead and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. You have to watch that movie if you're ever tripping. That's it. That was my trip to hell and back. It was something else, yeah. One golden rule I've learned is never make promises. Talk about doing things you want to do.
Oh my gosh. Alright, so this is the story of Peetz going to the club.
When you're drunk. I used to drink a lot back in the day. You know, young and dumb. Because one time I was drunk. This is a story involving my ex. so not Bibi. When you first get together, you're just like so in love. But as time goes on, sometimes you think of creative things to keep things interesting, to say the least. One time we were out to dinner, and it was one of my favorite places. I was feeling great. I was having a lot of wine, too much wine. I started saying, I love you. I think we should try something different. Let's go to Montreal, have a weekend getaway. And in Montreal, there's a lot of clubs, okay? And I offered to buy him a private session when I'm broke, but we were kind of broke, but so I booked a hotel room downtown Montreal. Really nice. We go out walking around downtown. We so happened to walk by a club. It didn't look like the fanciest. It was like garbage outside, no windows, had these like weird pictures of girls on the boarded up windows. My boyfriend was like, hey, I think he was more joking, but maybe semi-joking. He's like, you still offering? So I was like, yeah, okay, let's go in. Thinking,
Peetz, ladies.
It can't be that expensive. Look at this place. Go in. There's a girl dancing. One girl. Place is dead. There's a couple.
Potato, I think those are egg rolls. And then she's got chicken balls, spare ribs, and chicken fried rice.
Well, look, I think they were sitting around. I think the youngest there like must have looked like she was 45. I would never allow that with Bibi. I feel differently about Bibi. I don't know why. He's like, you pick. And there's a sign that says private session $10. No female on female. Friggin' phobic is that? So I look around, and my wild, jealous mind, I was thinking, I'm gonna pick someone less attractive than me. So I go up to her, she's sitting, looking bored. She barely reacts when I go up to her. I'm like, can I have a private session for my friend here? I said it was my friend. She's like, $10. I'm like, alright. So she takes him to this back room. They were gone.
Oh my gosh, and then Peetz comes back and describes what he got for $10.
Maybe 10, 15 minutes. Comes out, we leave. He didn't say anything. I'm like, so? He's like, that's alright, I guess. That was
He didn't say anything. He was too traumatized by what had just occurred in the back room.
His reaction with everything. It's alright, I guess.
Was I crabby yesterday?
Yep.
Peetz and I are friends, right?
Yep.
Can I just try one?
Yep.
Be patient, foodie booties. Right?
Yeah.
Literally everything. How was the food? It's alright, I guess.
You like it?
I have to ask the questions I would want him to tell me. I ask those things. I've learned that with men, you just have to be forward and say what you want, because men are not mind readers. I've learned that lesson the hard way. First thing I ask, for some reason, what did her look like? And he's like, oh, boobs are boobs to guys. You know what I mean? They don't care if you have two saggy, big mosquito bite. They don't care. So I'm like, well, describe them. Like, what do they feel like? What do they look like? He's like, well, actually, it felt kind of weird. I'm like, well, what do you mean? He's like, they kind of felt like sandpaper. What? What kind of boobs feel like sandpaper? I'm like, well, what did she do? Tell me everything. Like, I'm not letting you get away without telling me. So he's like, brought me in the room and sat me down on like a bench, started dancing slowly, took her top off and went here and took his hands and he said he didn't know what to do, so he just went like this. And they felt like sandpaper. I'm like, did you feel her? He's like, no, I didn't feel her. Probably couldn't, you know, for $10. I'm like, okay. Did anything else happen?
Traumatized for $10.
Happened? Did she talk to you? No. Kind of boring dance is that. I guess that's what you get for $10. I'd imagine you get what you pay for. Certain things you can go the cheaper route and get something that's less expensive. Food, whatever. But sometimes you need to pay full price for things to get a quality service. Maybe if he would have given like $50, he would have got more, but I think it's because I don't know how to explain it. I love Bibi differently than I did him. My ex was a really good friend and he still is, and I did fall in love with him, but not in the same way. You know what I'm saying? So all that to say, I was less jealous. I don't know what he meant by that. Sandpaper. He's weird.
Yeah.
Just to be safe, I made him wash his hands. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that story. Sometimes it takes a trigger to remember certain stories, and I don't make anything up. I don't want to do that. If I run out of stories, I could always resort to $10 lances to make some extra money. I'd be friendlier, believe me. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Alright, so we're on to the breakup. Foodie's gonna tell us a little bit about how that happened.
Hey guys, hey guys, hey! Beady bite! So I'm dipping them in like a spicy mustard. I didn't ask for deep fried pickles. They gave me some. I asked for a side of pickles, like normal pickles. I guess they figured deep fried pickles.
You guys, yeah, I ordered vanilla ice cream, and this is what they gave me. Like, look. I'm scared. I don't know. Look. Oh my gosh. Hold on. And it's literally comes with more chocolate.
It comes with a ladle full of chocolate.
What? I'm pumped though.
Orlin! I ordered beef. You got chicken.
Okay. Oh, they gave me the wrong sandwich. Oh no! I got the Mediterranean veggie sandwich, which is this delicious hummus. There's like a pesto. I ordered a thing of fries. I only ordered one, but for some reason they gave me two.
It says chicken on the thing, and you open it up, and boom, a slice of chicken. Where's the beef? Where's the beef?
It certainly is a big bun. It's a very big bun. Big fluffy bun. It's a very big fluffy bun.
Where's the beef?
At Wendy's, you get more beef and less bun.
Hey, where's the beef?
And Wendy's single has more beef than the Whopper or Big Mac.
I don't think there's anybody back there.
Where? The chicken's ones are horrible. Touch my face so they can see I'm angry. I'm fuming.
Okay, so is that the hot fudge sundae?
Mm-hmm.
It's $8.50.
This is $8.50, y'all.
Oh, this is like a regular turkey.
Yeah, this is like turkey with bacon and cheese.
Everyone's getting the wrong orders. Potato. It was a ladle full of chocolate.
I'm really, really upset right now. Well, I'll try it.
We're taking these back. You did not check. Take it back.
I'm not taking it back.
Yes, you are.
I'm not taking it back.
It's your fault because you didn't look. Well, you're at the drive-thru, and he helps me food, and he doesn't look at me, doesn't say a word, and I start going through my bag. I take out this. I look what's inside. I put it on the seat. I looked at the French fries, and I put them down on the seat. Here's all right. And I turn, and he's telling me to go. Well, anyways, it's a good thing I looked through my bag because my Popeye's chicken sandwich wasn't in there.
Open it.
You
I
had
saw
one
the
job.
bun. I saw the bun, and I said, "That's it."
Didn't we?
You had one job, he says. What a mess these two are.
This happened last time. You don't remember?
I didn't remember.
It says chicken right on it.
I didn't see that. It was
Chicken
dark.
makes
I
us
just
sick.
had the light on. I looked for the bread. I was like, "That's the bun."
It's okay. Go take this bun.
I'm not taking it back.
Yes, you are.
I refuse to take it back.
Then I will, and I'll miss my posting time. How about that? It was your fault.
I almost want to call them and be like, excuse me.
It wasn't that big of an order. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. 5. We can count to 5, right? Anyways, and I'm like, oh, where's my Popeye's chicken sandwich? And as I said it, it was already like barely in his hand. It was like sitting right in front of him. And it was as if he was waiting for me to question where it was. He was ready. He wanted me to drive off. What? Are they going to keep the sandwich? Are they like stealing food?
Well, with a big order like that, maybe they thought that he was going to check so that they can get a free sandwich out of each order. But they didn't know who they were dealing with.
We didn't order this.
Let me look at the receipt. Yeah, right here.
Did they give you a receipt?
Huh?
You didn't ask for a receipt. You always forget that part too.
Yeah, I didn't ask for it.
Yeah, you didn't ask for a receipt.
It's an online order. It
doesn't matter. They still have the computers that print it, no matter if it comes from Uber Eats, DoorDash.
They were not
online.
very nice.
But you have to ask. You have to use your words.
They don't use their words.
You have to use it.
It says 1 Mediterranean veggie sandwich, no tomato, because I don't like tomato. What's one food she doesn't like? Raw tomatoes. Raw tomatoes?
The chicken one is gross. I'm sorry, the chicken one is disgusting. It's not even worth eating. It was sitting right in front of him. I'm like, I'm missing a Popeye's chicken. Oh, yes, thank you. But before he was like, all right. He said, all right. Gosh.
This is not a veggie sandwich. Wow. All right. Well, here we go. It's not bad.
And Orland, don't give it to them.
Is there anything else wrong, missing?
Hold it in your hand, but
Is there anything else missing?
Don't give it to them unless it's absolutely necessary.
I'm gonna take off the cheese though.
We can take some cheese off of that. It's a rough time right now. The economy's bad. I could use that cheese for my emotional stress for their era.
It's good, but it's just like those extra calories for no reason.
Because you know they're not going to give you an extra sandwich for you how to get in the car, drive there, spend $5 of gas, sit in line, get everything else cold. They should be covering our whole meal, actually.
Honey, that's not what I asked for.
Nick's calling corporate here soon.
You don't give it to them unless they ask for it. And then you ask for the manager and say, why should I'm not doing all that. Make sure you're compensated for your emotions. This is America. And again, he handed me back. He wasn't like getting ready to give more. He was not even looking at me. He was looking at the screen waiting for me to drive away. Thank God I even looked through the bag.
That's how it looks. Bacon. It's pretty tasty. And it came with 2 small ones. I don't understand. 3. Okay, I could not finish it. So I gave the rest to Hannah and Rafe. It was actually pretty tasty. It's just the chocolate was super rich. What? And I'm just like not into that. I ate all those fries. Did not eat any of these and I don't plan on it.
Don't worry, we can heat this up. We have air fryers and stuff. Neighbors keep hitting the wall because they're screaming. It doesn't matter.
And I got Italian poutine. I'll show you what that's like in a minute. There's no dip for the pickles. Not really too eager to eat them. So this is what we call an Italian poutine. It's a poutine. It's not poutine, people. You English people say that it's poutine. No, the French way is poutine, okay? It has a meat sauce with curds and French fries. And I'm gonna put some of this Clubhouse seasoning on it.
All right, so we're getting to the breakup story here soon.
See how that tastes. So I want to tell you a story time, okay? It's an embarrassing fart story, so get ready. Okay, let's get to my Rwandi's lover story. I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, woman, how many lovers have you had? I used to say that I could count on my hands, but I don't think that's true anymore. This was right before meeting Bibi. It feels like I just met Bibi. Like every time I talk about it, it's like, feels like we've been together 2 years, but it's been over 6. Okay, so let me tell you how I met this guy. I was still with my ex, Peetz. I had just broken up with Peetz. We were separating, and I was like kind of in my going out and being a hoe stage, but I was starting to like, you know, I was out of love with him. I was gonna break up with him soon. It's roasted garlic and peppers. I know this has a bit of salt in it, but it's really good. Anyway, I got invited to go out to a club in my hometown. Now, my hometown is like super sketchy. The clubs there, oh god, are also sketchy. In my hometown, bars open and close like every other week, okay? A club closes and a new one will open in the same building, but it still ends up being a shitty club. The club we were going to, it's closed now, but it used to be a strip club. So this was like at a strip club, turned into like a dance club. And this was called the Players Club. Eye rolls galore. This bar was so trashy, guys. Like so many fights every night. Girls like screaming their heads off at each other. Entertaining to say the least. So one night I went there with some friends, not expecting to meet anybody. I remember the song that was playing. It was that S&M song by Rihanna, you know, the that one. So I remember going in and looking up on the dance floor. They had like an elevated dance floor, and there was this really beautiful man. He was with like a bunch of girls, and I was like, oh, I really want to talk to him. I wonder if he's with somebody.
All right, so we do have two different times of her telling the story, so there's a little bit of contradiction, but most of the story seems to be the same.
And I get on the dance floor. I was drinking, you know, I was instantly attracted. And he was just leaning against like this bar thing on the dance floor. He wasn't dancing. So I'm on the dance floor. I'm dancing like closer to him. You know how you kind of like do that? Just like try to get closer and closer. Okay, one more time. So then finally, I got his attention. He was like staring at me and I was drunk, so I went over and talked to him and he was receptive to that. He was like, how are you doing? You know, he's really kind of a quiet kind of guy. So we started talking, found out that he was with a girl, but not really. Like it wasn't his girlfriend or anything. It was her birthday and she had invited him along, probably hoping to hook up with them or something. He was there with 2 girls. One girl, he wasn't seeing any of them, but I think she was interested. It was her birthday. Happy birthday, I'm stealing your lover. I'm kidding. And she was
She says she's kidding, but she's not kidding because I'm pretty sure that's how the story goes.
Jealous because she would keep coming around and being like, who's this? You know, she was like really loud and boisterous. I would like dance on him and stuff. I got the feeling that he was into me. So eventually I got to the point where we kind of started making out, like kissing. The girl was so mad. So anyway, I ended up getting his number, but he was like, I'm with the girl tonight. It's her birthday. I'm like, oh yeah, no. I mean, you know, I didn't give him my number, but he gave me his.
One of the contradictions will be if she's drinking this night or not. Because she does say like that she was drinking, and the other times she says she wasn't drinking because she was driving. No, I told him I had a boyfriend and stuff. Anyway, I got his number. He got my number. I was like, do you want to go out to the car and talk? He was like, okay. I'm going to try to calm her down because it was her birthday. I mean, kind of a crappy move on my part, but technically they weren't together, you know? He was just like kind of a friend tagging along, but she probably had hopes. And maybe he wasn't interested in her that way. He was going to calm her down. I was going to go wait in the car for him. Because if he told her he was sneaking out or whatever, she very may well have punched me in the face. So I go out to my car. I wasn't drinking because I had my car. So I was... Okay, so she says I wasn't drinking because I had my car, but then she'll say she was drunk in the other telling of the story.
I wasn't drinking that night. I was drinking and I was drunk. I had to fart really bad, like really bad. I didn't even have the thought, step out of your car and fart. It was pretty cold. It was winter, so all my windows were rolled up and I had the car running. I have an air freshener in my car, the Febreze ones. They work pretty well. I could sneak a fart. It probably won't even smell that bad. And it will be dissipated by the time he gets in here. Well, I should have cracked a window because I let it go and it smelled bad, really bad. Of course, Murphy's Law, right? It was like one of those really bad eggy ones that linger.
Oh, I went to put this on today. Fabulous, and it smelled like fart, so I guess it's old and I'm gonna throw it out.
It smelled like fart. What kind of fart? Sulfury. They like cling to you and don't let go. I'm sitting there, the passenger door opens. Oh my god. I'm like, oh no, it still smells in here. And the heater made things worse. Sorry. Wasn't ready for that one. So he gets in, sits down, and I was like, oh my god, I wonder what's gonna happen. I'm watching his face closely. Sure enough, he looked a bit disgusted, but then he...
Oh, that's terrible. That's so bad.
Probably realized in his head, like, okay, I better not say anything. I'm like, I know my car kind of smells. There might be like an old sandwich somewhere in it from my lunch or something. It didn't deter him because we started a affair of sorts. It's like the no kissing kind of hookup, so it really was meaningless. I didn't call him right away. I'm an attention big time. So I decided to call him. I was bored at work. I was done my work and everything. And he was surprised me. He's like, why don't you come up? Because he lived like in another city. It turned out he was from Ottawa. He worked at like a car dealership and he had his own place in Ottawa. So he's like, why don't you come up tonight?
She says that, but then the way that she describes his apartment is super sketchy.
I want to see you. And his voice was like so sexy, you know? So he's like, he's like, I'll pay your gas and everything. Like, he was going to give me like gas money to drive up there after work at midnight. Good thing was he always gave me gas money because it would be like at least $30. So he'd always give me like $40 because a lot of the time he would message me and be like, do you want to come up tonight? It's a far drive. It's like...
Yeah, so at this point she was still with Peetz.
An hour and a half. I don't have much gas money because I didn't have a great job at that time. Well, it was pretty high paying for the time and for the area I lived in, actually. It was like gonna be a total booty call, like after midnight, you know? You guys, I could not say no. I ended up telling Peetz that, and he knows all this, so I mean, we were very honest with each other until this point. I did end up confessing everything to him. I said I was gonna go to a friend. She invited me over last minute. I was like, okay. He was so easygoing, you know? Poor guy. He's such a good guy. I didn't deserve him. I was excited, but very nervous. I needed to freshen up. I went into the work bathroom. I used the soap to like freshen up, you know? Okay, so freshened up and ready to go. I start driving, put on my music. I think at the time the popular music was that Rihanna song, like, "Feels so good being bad." You know, and at the time I did feel good being bad, so. But yeah, so I used to sneak up after work. I worked till like midnight just to go to this guy's house. I was driving and I was getting crabby because I was getting lost. I didn't drive in the city like very often at that time. Finally found his building and I see that it's a high-rise. You know my deal with elevators, guys? And it was a sketchy building. It was like notorious for being like cheap rent. And the building was just poorly maintained. And I won't go in an elevator on a good day where the elevator is like immaculate. It's hard. So whenever it's not well maintained and has graffiti and smells like cat pee, no. I walk into the building, strong scent of cat urine. I think he lived on like the 9th floor. I can't remember, 7th or 9th. And I just didn't want to show up there all huffing and puffing and sweaty and out of shape.
Well, she has no choice because she's not going to take the elevator up.
You know, and be embarrassed, but I didn't want to take the elevator either. But I saw a woman, she looked nice. She was pressing the elevator button in the lobby. I thought, okay, I'll get on with her. I'm hoping she's going to a higher floor than I do, so she doesn't get off before me. I asked her what floor she was going to. I look in the elevator, the door's open, all like graffiti everywhere, and then like smelled worse like pee. I get in, and she, even though she was nice, as the door started closing, I did my usual freak out, bolted out of there, and I was like, sorry, just zoomed to the staircase.
I wonder what that lady was thinking. Wondering what Chantal was doing.
And I walked all the way up the stairs, and it took me like 10-15 minutes after I had buzzed for him to let me in. I get to his door. I'm trying to catch my breath. He opens it with a big smile. Oh, and his teeth were so white. It was beautiful. He's like, what took you so long? He was kind of laughing, and I'm like, I had to go up the stairs. He just laughed. I think like it was awkward a bit because we didn't know each other. He would barely talk. I'd go there, we'd get down to business. And at the time, on the TV, he was watching the royal wedding. You know, when Princess and Prince of England got married there, Prince William and Kate. Remember one time.
So it doesn't seem like it was a very serious relationship, but this was between Peetz and Bibi.
The royal wedding was playing on TV, so I'm like, so do you want to like get started? And he's like, well, can we watch a bit of the royal wedding? He rolls a big fat joint. He liked to smoke, and we just sat there like in silence, pretending to give a shit, you know? So we're just sitting there not talking. I see a picture frame. I'm like, oh, is that your brother? And it was like a picture of a younger boy, and he's like, yeah, he died in the genocide. Like, you guys have heard about the genocide in Rwanda, right? And I was like, oh my god, like that just like, wow, it's so sad, like this poor guy. So I was like, oh, I didn't know what to, you know, I was like, I'm so sorry. So we're smoking, no talking. The second the joint goes out, I look over, I'm putting it out in the ashtray. I turn my head and there's a big boner in my face. I was like, whoa, you don't beat around the bush, that's for sure. It was a nice boner. So he takes me to his bedroom, and I'm like, just a minute, you know, I wanted to go pee. I go in the bathroom. I remember his bathroom having a picture of Elvis. Yeah, I don't miss the dating days when you have to like worry about being careful about farts and going to the bathroom. I remember always going to the bathroom, and I would get there, and I remember there's a big picture of Elvis in his bathroom, and I remember just looking at that thinking, Elvis, what the hell am I doing here? If I had to go to the bathroom because I have IBS, I would have to leave his apartment because he had never had toilet paper, and he didn't have a fan in the bathroom, so I'm not gonna go if I can help it. That's like something I really love about being with Bibi for so long, is that we don't care about that anymore. I have a friend who's been with her husband for like 12 years and she still doesn't fart in front of him. That's an abusive relationship.
Well, that's one way to put it.
I don't know. Everyone does it, and it's kind of funny. So I get into the bedroom, we do it. He really enjoyed himself. It was like 2 minutes long, but it was, I don't know, it felt nice. It felt nice to, you know, I don't know. Maybe it was because it was someone else. So that was that with him. We just eventually drifted apart because I met Bibi, and then I fell in love with Bibi. I had been seeing this guy almost a few times a week. He's like, I'll pay your gas. We offered.
A few times a week. Ooh. So she was seeing this guy a few times. It wasn't just this one awkward encounter. That sounds like it was the first awkward encounter, though.
You know, he was a gentleman, I guess. I would go up several times. I mean, gas is not cheap, you know. Felt like it was more for his benefit because I really barely ever. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I just felt like he got more out of it than I did. And then I met Bibi. I don't miss hookups, like random one-nighters. Some people live for them. I hate them. No talking, no kissing, no. It's so impersonal. No thanks. But he was hot. I hadn't done anything like this in a while. It made me feel alive again. I didn't really enjoy it that much, actually, so it was kind of like whatever. I did, but I didn't. I think I liked more the thrill of the idea of it, you know what I mean? So when I met Bibi, it was romantic and there was emotion and feeling involved, so I was like ready to give up this fling. Like Bibi was having a fling as well whenever we met each other. When I met Bibi, he was seeing somebody. Also, a booty. This girl would contact him just to have sex in a parking lot in the car, which made me jealous because I'm a bigger girl. I can't have sex in a car. The second time I ever met him in person,
I think that's a little Sam in the background.
this is what happened, okay? I was working the night shift, like till midnight. I had talked to him on the phone and I told him, oh, I might go out tonight. He hadn't said anything about coming down. As I'm getting off work, I stop at this convenience.
Okay, so now she's talking about Bibi.
Store to get cigarettes. I was a social smoker back then. When I'm in the store buying cigarettes, this tall man comes in. I knew it was one of Bibi's friends, and he's like, hi, don't I know you? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like confused why he lived in Ottawa. So I buy the cigarettes, I go outside, and there was a car with tinted windows. It was apparently Bibi's friend's car, okay? And in the back, two super obnoxious drunk girls. One was overweight, one was skinny. Just telling you, so you can visualize, I guess. The overweight one was sticking her head out the window. I'm like giggling. I'm like, saying Bibi's name. So Bibi must have been in that car. Then Bibi sticks his head out the window and he's like, I was gonna surprise you. The BBW girl wasn't his girlfriend, but it was somebody he had slept with a couple times. And this girl, for many reasons, I can't fucking stand. Like, I can't stand her. Maybe it's because she slept with Bibi. Other things that have happened. She's a user. I'm just like, you know, peace. I was like pissed. I'm like, you're gonna say that you know, it just seems sketchy. You come down without telling me, and you bring two drunk, obnoxious idiots with you. So it turns out they were going to the infamous Players Club. So this was like at a strip club, turned into like a dance club. And this is called the Players Club. So he's texting me all pissed. I'm like, you're with two women. How do you think that makes me feel? You know, one that you've slept with. Like, are we hanging out together? Are we becoming a couple or what?
Now, I think at this point she still hadn't broken up with Peetz.
He's like, oh, you shunned me, whatever. So we were arguing. I'm like, well, are you spending the night? He's like, yeah, we're spending the night at the girl's house that he had slept with. Let's call her Jane. I don't fucking know. He was spending the night at Jane's. I'm like, well, are you gonna...
You can tell Chantal doesn't like Jane.
Sleep with her? And he's like, I don't know, maybe, probably. I was so mad. I was like, no, this is bullshit. So I show up at the club by myself. Nobody wanted to go out with me that night, I guess. I don't know, I was livid. So I show up at the club. I go in, and he's standing in the group of people dancing. Bibi loves to dance. He just like ignores me, pretends he doesn't see me. I talk in his ear because it's hard to hear. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you acting like that? We started arguing a bit about that. I remember grabbing him and kissing him. I'm like, I don't know about you, but I'm like in love with you. I could see something in his face change, and he's like, I'm in love with you. That's why I'm so hurt. He's like, please, I don't want to sleep at Jane's house. Can we do something else? I'm like, let's get a hotel. Because I was still living with Peetz. We hadn't moved out from each other yet. I'm still at the bar at this point, okay? And we're just like, you know, being new in love people. I'm still in love with him. I love him so much. But that feeling like you're the only two people in the world, oh. If there's any one reason why people should continue living, just one is love. And if you're not in love with somebody right now, you will. If you want to. I mean, if you don't want to, that's fine too. All of this didn't make Jane very happy. She was not very happy at all. She's like, do you want to go out for a smoke? I'm like, okay. I'm not trying to put people down for their lifestyle. I don't like to judge people, but I know that she was nothing more than a piece of ass for him. Sorry, boo, if you're watching. He told me she's not his type. He's university educated.
Oh, she gets so salty.
Has a 4-year bachelor's degree in criminology and public administration, and he has a good job. She has like 5 kids with different baby daddies. She's very crude. She'll take her perfume out of nowhere and be like, I need to spray my stinky snatch.
Oh, I went to put this on today. It smelled like fart, so I guess it's old.
Or she'll be like, hey, want to grab my fat poom poom? Like, who the f talks like that in public? Like, seriously. She basically has no class. You know.
Cut to Chantal talking about her fupa.
You know what I mean, though? She's just really loud and always drunk. We were outside poking. She's like, you know, if I didn't like you, I would kick your ass. Sorry. Yeah, right. Like, I'm afraid of you. But anyway, when I said that, I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, by the way, Bibi and I are getting a hotel. He's not staying at your house. I know I seem petty right now, but whatever. So she was all pissed the rest of the night. I don't know if she was trying to make him jealous. She was dancing all up on the bouncer, and she cannot dance worth shit. I can't dance either. I suck. But at least I don't try to look all sexy and dancing like when I know I suck, you know?
Okay, be prepared.
You know what I mean? Anyways, you can tell I don't like her. I'm being all bitchy. We get to the hotel. I remember this night because it was such a great night, and he made me feel beautiful. I remember when the hotel, it's dark. We start making out and stuff, and things are getting heated. And he's like, take off all of your clothes, your socks, everything. And I was like, no. At the time, I was still, you know, I hadn't been with anybody since Peetz and the Rwanda guy, but even with him, I kept my shirt on and stuff. So I was like, no, I'm keeping my shirt on. He's like, no, all your clothes off right now. He was insistent, and he's like, listen, he's like, if we're gonna be together, he's like, you can't be insecure about yourself. He's like, you need to be secure with yourself. And he just made me feel beautiful. He was like, things that he was doing and saying, and that was a really good night. I'm pretty sure we kept the neighbors up. TMI! So that was fun. And
Chantal, TMI, never.
And Jane can go suck a carrot. We both kept seeing our fling for a short period of time after that, but we eventually officially said we're official. You know, like, there comes a point in your relationship where you have to officially declare it. So, like, you have to ask, are we official now, or can I keep going up to Ottawa and seeing this guy? We became official. We had to say it. That was that, you know? So I said, okay, we're exclusive now. We both broke it off. He still wanted to be friends with this girl. And one day we're in my car and he's talking to her. I'm like, who are you talking to? He says, bitch. tell her, I used to be so jealous. He's like, this girl that I used to hook up with, and I'm like, why are you talking to her? He's like, we're staying friends. And I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. I know, double standard. I'm still friends with Peetz, my ex. But Peetz and I started off as best friends, and we have like a 7-year history together. So we have a meaningful relationship. Non-romantic, but still meaningful.
Yeah.
Bibi and this girl were just hookups. So why be friends? You weren't friends, you know, you have nothing to be friends about other than penis and vagina. So no. So
Chantal laid down the law.
So that was he broke it off. He messaged me a couple of years ago to see if I was single yet. And I was like, nope. Even if I was, he's not next in line. If you want to know more about my hoe days between relationships, let me know. You know what? I'm not a slut shamer.
Well, I feel like that's about the extent of her hoe days between relationships, as she would say. Potato. Yeah, for sure.
If you want to have sex with 200 guys, as long as you're safe about it, whatever. Do what you want to do. I hate slut shaming. No one should tell you how to live your life. That's it for today. Long time ago, before I knew Bibi, this Jamaican guy would always message me. He lived nearby. And he was just recently married to this older woman. And it's like, how are you going to message me when you're married? Like, what? No. Oh. Whenever I realized and admitted to myself that that's what happened with Peetz, I was heartbroken that I had to break his heart. I'll never forget doing that. It was so hard. I was like, I'm not in love with you anymore, and I'm in love with someone else. Many times Peetz would tell me, maybe he sensed it was coming, but he said, even if you don't love me anymore and you wanted to see someone else, I would be totally cool with that. I would be cool with you having different lovers to make you happy. And I just felt like I can't be in a relationship with someone I'm not in love with. And I don't think Bibi would like that. I definitely learned from that. It's always better to be honest. It just feels better to just be honest about things.
Yeah, so that's how that happened, the breakup. And meeting Bibi.
About how you're feeling, regardless of how people are going to react. That's what I'm really trying hard to implement in my life. I did admit to him that I was talking with Bibi and I was in love with him and I was going to be with him. That's the story. Not like I'm anticipating breaking up with Bibi, but like no matter who I'm with in life, they have to be okay with me being friends with him because he is a special person in my life. We have
Which now, I don't think she's allowed to talk to Peetz because she's with Sala. But I think she kind of still has some sort of relationship with him. I just don't think it's very public anymore. Which is unfortunate, because they seem to get along pretty well. I mean, it's probably good for Peetz to have a little bit of a break from Chantal, though. Considering, like, even after the breakup and she was with Bibi, they were still kind of friends for a while. Well, I mean, I don't know how long it was until she started actually hanging out with Peetz again, but she was with Bibi for 6 years. It was still hanging out with Peetz, and, you know, we'll see here soon that after the breakup with Bibi, she moved back in with Peetz, so yeah, it's just kind of unfortunate that they're not really that close anymore, but a lot did happen over the last few years that would lead us to that.
A lot of fun together, but there's not ever a time where I feel sexually attracted to him or where I feel that there's any love that could be rekindled. I don't feel that at all. When I'm with him, it's hard to believe that we were ever in such a loving relationship for 7 years.
I do remember when she was living with Peetz and she was dating Nader. Nader was super jealous of Peetz and didn't like that Chantal would spend any time with him or that he would get any of her attention, and geez, it was just ridiculous. So she was pulling away from Peetz a little bit there. Yeah, so Peetz is around when it's convenient for Chantal, it seems like. At this point, anyway.
Definitely love Peetz as a person. Peetz is his nickname. His real name is Jamie. I definitely love him as a person, and I don't think that will ever stop because he's a really dear friend of mine. I think that this whole breakup was a good thing. We are very good friends. There's nothing more to it. And we were really close. When you're with someone for that long, you start as friends. I mean, I still love this guy. He's like a family member. I have no romantic interest in him anymore. I'm in love very much with my boyfriend now, and my boyfriend knows about him, and he knows he's an important part of my life. I made that clear before we started dating, and he's okay with it. He trusts me. Bibi is okay with that. He doesn't mind. He is sort of a jealous person, but he doesn't express it. He's very mature right from the get-go. I told him before we started dating, I said, I'm still really good friends with my ex. I hope you can respect that. He has girlfriends that are really nice that we do things with. I used to be really jealous and insecure, but I've learned to just go with the flow.
Yeah, so that's their relationship. That's how they met, and they were together. Some things that were happening while they were together. and then when she finally met Bibi, she called it quits with Peetz. So if you weren't familiar with Peetz before, you are now. Anxious Potato, thanks for hanging out for a bit. And Moody, if you're still around. I see you two in the chat here. Alright, so I think I'm going to end it for today. About it. With our introduction to Peetz. Well, yeah, we get the whole picture of the relationship and the breakup, and then all this explanation and stuff. All these explanation videos are all before they started living together. Again, this was all like while she was still living with Bibi. But there's still lots of their storyline to be told, for sure. We'll take a look at that another time. The next one we'll look at is going to be like more centered around her relationship with Bibi. I have a lot of footage for that, so it's going to be a longer one. Alright, so I think I'll end it there. Thanks for hanging out for a bit. I'll be live on my other channel tomorrow, so I'll see you then. Have a good one.